Real Green Ninja here. Today we're talking about how to geocode your customers. So let's begin. Now, essentially what a geocode is, it's a latitude and longitude, so it can put that person's address or location on a map. Now, again, most people have the routing assistant, and I just think it's a really good thing to have, simply because you can say, I want to take all the people we could possibly do, throw them onto a map, select the people that we want to do for today, and then print out those invoices or whatever. But again, you would have to have the routing assistant in order to be able to utilize geocodes. Now, when you go to create a customer's account, let's go ahead here, and let's go ahead and just create a new one here. 48307. And I'm just going to create a customer real quick here. I don't know, let's see here, how about 200. Put this in here. All right, so when I go to save my customer's account, you'll see it says attempting to geocode address. If I put in the correct address and it's able to find it, then under the customer's property tab, it's going to have a latitude and longitude. Again, that is what the system uses when it pushes those push pins up on the map. Now, when you geocode a customer's account, you can also change the geocode either by manually typing it in there or clicking on this little globe. Pretty much anytime you see this globe, it means it's going to take you to Routing Assistant. So we click on there, and you'll see there's the push pin. Now, I might say, it's a little bit off. Maybe it's a little bit north, maybe it's a little bit south. If I needed to change this person's geocode, what I could do is I could actually hit this arrow here, and then using my left mouse button, drag the push pin to where I want that to be. So this is where that customer will again show up on the map going forward. When I'm done, I can hit save and remove, and then I can just turn around and close my map, and then again under the property tab, these numbers would be updated. Now, if for some reason the system can't geocode the customer base, again because of an incorrect address and stuff like that, I'm going to show you how to run a report to find those ungeocoded customers. So for example, if it's like a P.O. box, you're not going to route out to the post office or something like that. But let's say we import a customer list. And obviously, if we don't have the latitude and longitude on it, we can't import that information. But what we could do is after we get that list of people into the system, we can go to Tools, Utilities, Mapping and Routing Utilities, and then Batch Geocoder. Now, if it's an initial, pulling the customers in or whatever, you may want to go through and just do all statuses. So we're going to click here, go to Marketing, Estimate, Canceled and Active. Now, if you want to, you can also specify subdivision, city, zip code, if it's a really large import that you did, because of course, the more people there are to geocode, the longer it's going to take, and you might do it in small batches or something like that. You can also specify what company or branch. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of them. Now, if for some reason all my geocodes are off, or I just would say, you know what, let's go ahead and re-geocode, reset everything, then I could hit this re-geocode option. Most of the time, people don't do it. The only time I can really think that you might do it is if you imported the latitude and longitude, notice that most of them are incorrect. You might go through and say, okay, let's re-geocode those people we just imported. Once you have your criteria set, you're going to hit Geocode, and it's going to start processing. And it's a little progress bar. It goes across. And then when it's done, what it's going to do is going to tell you how many out of how many people it was able to geocode. So, for example, on my database, it was able to geocode 38 out of the 180 addresses that are not currently geocoded. And again, it could be I have misspelled names. I don't have like street, like a avenue or road or anything at the end of the address. For some reason, it could not find that geocode, that latitude and longitude for the address in the system. Now, once I've done my geocoder, it will give me the option to go through and individually geocode those addresses. So, for example, on this one right here, it doesn't have an address. So, again, there might be something going on with the person's account. This person here, again, doesn't have an address. It's people I want to double check and make sure I get that accurate information in there. Now, if you want to, we can close this out, and then maybe we want to come back to it later. So let's say a couple days go by and you come back. Then what you can do is you can go to Reports, Customer, and you'll see we actually have an ungeocoded customer list. Again, this is going to go through and try to find those people that do not have geocodes on their accounts yet. I can do a preview, and you'll see right now this one shows 3. Again, if I want to grab all branches, I can grab all branches, and it'll make a little bit more sense. But I got like a lot of people in my system right now. So what I can do is I can take these people, and then I can even export these people out to a customer search screen. Click OK here, click OK here. It's going to put them on this list, so I can go ahead and pull this up. Now again, maybe there isn't a 1254 Green Street, or maybe it's 1254 Green Street, but it's in a different city. But again, for whatever reason, it could not find that latitude and longitude. I could take it to the map. Okay, and again, it's going to default to where my office is. So now I can say, you know what, find it on the web. And it's going to do some search. There we go. And you'll see we actually have a geocode here, 41705, and so on and so forth. Now, if you're really good at the copy and paste, you can do Control-C, go to latitude, Control-V, and update that. Oh, well, maybe I'm not as good as copy and pasting. All right, so let's just manually type it in here. So 41, and then 705, 681, and then come up here. And again, I'm just going to put the longitude in there. And one of the easiest ways to remember is at least for most people, at least in the U.S., that second number is going to be the negative number, which is going to be the longitude. So let's here, 86.914. 127. Again, once I have it in there, I can now hit close, and you'll see it's going to try to relocate it. So like I was saying, is you could manually type it in, or if you know the geocode, maybe you went out to the property with your GPS, or maybe if you're using Mobile Live, you can do it remotely. You could actually put those latitude and longitude in there manually. Now, I had a customer that was doing a lot of lawn mowing for the electric company. So he would actually mow around the electrical boxes and stuff like that. They didn't have an address to actually put into the system. So what he did was when he went out to the property, he used his GPS, documented what the latitude and longitude was, and then came back to the office, created the account, or if it was already in there, updated the latitude and longitude. So now those push pins would show up on the map, and it made routing a lot easier. Because again, once it's in there, it's in there. So like I was saying, is you can go through and geocode the accounts. Once they're geocoded, it'll throw on the map. If they're not geocoded, there's reports we can run. We can manually set the geocodes. Again, you want to get those geocodes in there so that way they pull up on the map and you're able to route them and stuff. Now, if you do select people on the invoice screen that doesn't have a geocode already, it'll even warn you saying, hey, there's people that's not geocoded. Are you sure you want to put them on the map? You can hit yes. And if you hit yes, it'll ask you where that push pin is, and then you can set it there going forward. Or you can click no, and it would just exclude them from the map. So I hope that helps, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.